Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Monday, so you know we're here with coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. I'm here with my co host, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. We're going to be introducing our special guest in just a moment. I know you see her in the view. So sit back, relax, let's hydrate, and let's have a conversation today. Hey, Fran, what's up?
Hey, everybody, good morning and welcome to everybody watching live on the replay. Today is Monday, and we always come up with some astounding topics for us. And today we're talking about the VIP list. Who is on the VIP list? Your VIP list. And it's a conversation that we were talking about this morning. We are talking all this month about our goals and getting our goals started and finishing is what we're attempting to do with these goals. We started the year out with the top 10. I should say last year at the end of the year, I asked everybody about their 101 things they wanted to get done in life. And then we narrowed it down to the top 10 for 2020. And we're in September of 2020. So we're working on the goals. What goal did you have in mind? What did you want to get done? And so this conversation is all about, is it on the calendar? The thing that you wanted to get done, is it on the calendar? Music playing.
Hey, Mary,
Is it on your calendar? Did you take the time to write it on the calendar, the important things that you wanted to get done? A lot of times I think, and Terry will jump in here on this one, we put a lot of stuff on the calendar, but it may not be the things that we wanted to do. We just stuck it on the calendar. There is I don't know if it's a universal law, but the things that you want to get done, if you don't put it on a calendar, the chances are that they're not going to get done.
Well, I just want to say we put someone special on the calendar today. Do you want to introduce her since she's in the studio?
Yeah, it's gonna wait I'm gonna segue over to that because I'm gonna introduce her.
Because we love you.
Yeah, so we're talking about getting things done. Mm-hmm. And so our guest today is going to talk to us a little bit about how she gets things done. I was intrigued by her talking about her the way she got stuff done, and I was like, oh, it's simple, it works, and we're talking about the calendar today. So I'd like to introduce Enrica Greathouse from smallgorilla.net. They are a business partner of ours, a marketing partner. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and then jump right into how you manage your VIP list.
Nice. Thank you guys for having me here. It's always a privilege and an honor to share space with you guys. And this is one of our favorite places, Biz Chicks. We've been rocking Biz Chicks for a while now. Remember when you guys first started? You guys are doing things, and you still are. So I'm honored to be here. As far as myself, my name is Enrica. I am a co-founder of Small Gorilla. .net is the website, but Small Gorilla is the business. We help entrepreneurs tell better stories through the web, videos, and marketing. And it's all about storytelling. Our stories we tell ourselves, stories we tell others. That's what really makes things go when our visions and our goals get accomplished, as well as how people interact with us. So that's a little snapshot about Small Gorilla. Currently, I'm working on a project called Create Space, and it's a community for women who want to get their most important soul-fulfilling work out into the world. And so this is a conversation I love to have, the one you're having today about calendars and about getting things done, about finishing. It's really passionate. It's passionate on my heart. All these topics. I'm always having these conversations. I'm always not just having conversations. I'm always looking and listening and hearing how women get their things done. So for me, especially when you're talking about how I get my things done, let me just first, before I even say what that is, I want to first preference it, or to like let you know that it's a experiment. Like my whole process of how I do things has been test and trial. Even now that I've been doing it this way for a while, it's still always have my ears open to see how I can refine it. What's working, what's not working. Sometimes it's seasonal. So just to put that out there, because sometimes I get questions and when I give the answer, like I think for all of us, that is the answer. We're gonna stick to that until, this is the answer, this is the solution. But really, the solution is always inside of us. It is all about getting inspired by other people, but also just having an experimental mindset where you can say like, well, that worked for me when my kids were little, or that worked for me when I was, in this season, but let's see what's working now. So with all that said, how I get things done and how I put things on the calendar is via my, I kind of design my day. It's like my ideal day. And it's, I protect my time using buckets. I'll call them circles now, but they're pretty much buckets of what labels. So it's just a routine, and it's like my ideal day, and everything revolves around that. I'm not sure if you want to get into the details of that, but it's basically, okay, so the details basically for me, this is for me, I wake up early. I'm an early riser. I know people are like, but I tell them how early I rise. But I wake up around 4 a.m. And for me, this is my quiet time. I get to just lounge and this is like if people go to spa, this is like my spa time. I love having spaciousness. So this is my time to just do I call it Power Jam, which is, my Power Jam is how I energize myself, how I take care of myself. And I always start internally from the inside out. So internally to the external. So I start, Power Jam stands for prayer, worship, read, I journal, I align, meaning that I look at my vision board, I write. So Power Jam, pray, worship, read, journal, align, and then I meditate for 10 minutes. And that just gets me centered, gets me to have my free space, my mind's clear, I'm ready to go to work. My next thing is writing room, which is something I created. Maybe you guys can put the link in. But the writing room is where we get up early and we get our writing done. Like, so if you're working on a book, which I am, I'm working on my book, be out next January. Francine and Terry both are part of the writing room, either in the past or present. And this is where we write books. So, and it's just a quiet place where we just get our writing down every single day. And so that's been really helpful in me getting my writing done. After writing room, I work out 7 to 8. And then I ease into my day from 8 to 10, get myself ready, get my daughter ready, make sure she's on track doing her schoolwork. And then at 10 o'clock is all me time. I call it the me first, my me first time. And that means just doing all the works and projects that belong to me, that I'm passionate about, creative time, whatever I need to work on that's really focused on the passion projects that I'm working on goes first. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking fast, trying to not take up too much time. But after the me first projects, then it's OPP time, which is other people's projects, other people's priorities. That goes next. That's from 1 to 3. I work on specific, if I'm working for clients or anything like that, goes there. And from there, after that is 3 to 6 is my learn and grow time, where I have 2 more classes to be done, my degree. So that's where I do my studying time, my homework. If I'm reading books, that goes in there. And then that's really from 5 to 6, my homework. And then 5 to 6, 3 to 5 is my homework time. 5 to 6 is where I connect out to the rest of the world. Say hi to Facebook friends, call somebody I need to connect with. I don't like putting a lot of time into social media that much. So I just try to have that hour to connect and give myself a time limit. 6 on is all chill. Have fun with the fam, hang out, read, whatever. 8, I'm usually knocked out, or 8, between 8 and 9, I'm knocked out because I wake up at 4, do it all over again. And that's my ideal day. And it's not always perfect. I always make exceptions. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like today I'm on Biz Chicks, and that's a beautiful exception to my ideal day.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I think just having this something I know what I'm supposed to be doing when I'm supposed to be doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and where to put tasks. Like, I keep my meetings between 1 and 3. So if you want to meet with me, we probably meet at that time. If not, unless I make an exception to the rule, but that's our exceptions, not the regular thing. Yeah, it makes life easier for decisions making, because I know I'm putting me first. Because you can't help anybody else breathe if you're not breathing first. So, all right, I think how you guys said, put yourself in front of your own line.
To go to the front of your own line. Yeah, yeah.
I learned that from you guys.
Well, Rika, I want to ask you a question now. A lot of these buckets, have they been interrupted as a result of, you know, things that are going on with the?
I really subscribe to agreements over boundaries. Boundaries are good, but I think agreements take it to another level, where I have agreement with my family, agreement with people I work with, and it's just really clearly communicating where your needs are, and in exchange with other things. I try to limit any distractions that come, and if things come regularly, then that's more than distraction. It's a habit that's coming through. So you try to deal with those. But some unexpected distractions can happen, like the car breakdown, things like that. That's a different type of thing, and that's, you know, happenstance. You deal with those. But as far as regular interactions with my family, they know I have like a writing hat. I should grab it. This is my writing hat. So I have this one on to like, they know, like, do not mess with Rika. She is writing. Don't talk to me. So it's just like little, let's say don't talk to me. This is an emergency, but little things that helps to vent all distractions.
I am all into the hats. I can remember when I was working, I would exit the car, and if I had that hat on, the kids knew, give me 10 minutes to switch gears.
Nice. I love that. It's visual, right? You can, you know, and if you have honest, open conversations, and you're in a clear communication, because I support them as they support me, and we're all purpose partners to each other. So we all, like, Josh is on his purpose, Abari's on her purpose, and we are excited about life, and we're excited about dreaming. We're excited about having fun together. I forgot to that little part. I always have transitions between each thing I do, and I always try to I inject fun and play. And like yesterday, not yesterday, but like during the week, we swim in the middle of the day. We go on the skateboards. We hang out. So it's not just all like. We try to inject a lot of play, a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, a lot of hanging out.
Because it did sound very structured without any interruptions or transitions. So I'd like to hear more about how long are those transitions, or do they vary? Or
so the buckets are not so much my task. The buckets are like, this is my time for writing. This is my time for me. When I say like my me first stuff, I might have something, like I might be working on sewing a project, sewing something, or I want to practice coding. So it's just my own personal things I want to get done. I do that first. And even my OPP projects, it might be no projects at all. I might be just having on Tuesday, Thursday, a project this week. And so I have a lot of flex room, and to, like, we went to, where did we go? Well, like, we went to San Diego to hang out there. And so I still did my same structure, but I have a lot of flex room to include play, because that's one of our values is fun. So
I like that the time assignments or the time agreements align with your values. So if you don't know your values, it's going to be a little difficult to assign time frames or assignments when you don't know what your value is. So it seems like we have to get our value straight. What's important to us?
Yeah.
and know that if it's family, if it's ministry, career, whatever it is, knowing what's important to us, and then building our buckets around what's important, like going to the front of your own line. I think Rika just took this to a whole new level on going to the front of your own line. I like you getting up and having your time before everybody else gets to invade, tap into, pull from. Yeah.
I think that too, that's from my experiments, because what was happening before is I would do my work, like stuff I had to do first, and it leave me depleted for my own stuff, or tired, or not inspired, right? Because especially my morning time, like I know my own energy. My morning time is my most fresh, creative time, that I'm very creative. So when I did other people's work, they got the best of me, which is always a good thing. But then when you're ready to do your own projects, you don't have the energy, the inspiration, or the just the energy, I would say, to get it done. So I switched it around, knowing that I'm a not to say people pleaser, but I love to finish up on my commitments. I keep my promises. So from 1 to 3, I still have energy, and so it's just, and especially when I'm working with other people, it's collaborative. It pumps me up more, and I have enough left over to give my collaborative projects the attention they need doing it vice versa for me worked really well, because me first, and plus it's just a principle type of thing too, like doing my stuff first. It helps me like know that my most important purpose-driven work is getting completed. And that's what my book is really about creating space to do your most soul fulfilling projects and work, getting it out into the world and creating a space to do that. So I'm trying to be an example, right? Live it out before I teach it out.
I like that. And if someone is interested in getting on the list to get a book, what do we need to do? Or I think the book is going to be outstanding. If the nuggets that you just shared with us about the buckets, tell us a little bit about what they can expect to find in that book.
Yeah, so I'm in editing mode right now, which is exciting and challenging, because it's really, right now the book is big. I'm trying to squeeze it down to smaller. But so pretty much I can tell you what the front cover says is create space, productivity from the inside out, helping women jump out of fear, leap into love, get their most important work out into the world. And when I say leap into love, people are like, but that's really about leaping without fear and leaping into things that you're passionate about, leaping into things, leaping with a mindset of just the dreamer and I got this, optimism, faith. There's a lot of stuff packed in there. So it's very inside out approach to productivity. It's not what you're used to, where the busy work and the do busy. I don't like that type. I'm very much about, let me see what's important to me. Let me get quiet. Let me understand what I'm here for, what I'm here to bring, what's passionate, what's populating and coming up for me, and let me get about my business. Even before I help others with their garden, let me water my own. Is very much from that aspect. But it not only just goes from the spiritual, like internal, it also goes to the practical, how to get things done in a fun, playful, experimental way. And that's how I came up with my buckets. And it's all about, there's 32 get moving experiments. So, and it's just, so you can kind of play at like, use some of the experiments to see what works best for you, because I am a subscriber to the fact that not one way will fit for everybody. But I probably read every productivity book, every habit creating. I've been reading for like maybe 10 years on these type of stuff, and so I have a lot to play with. But I think it's all about play, all about experimentation and what works best with you. And I just give my best my best stories. It's very story driven. It's fun. It's fun. It's exciting, and it's about really getting your most important work out into the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I want a copy. So what do I need to do to get on the list?
Well, this website is shecreatedSpace.com. And
I'll put that in the chat.
Yeah, that's in development. I'm sure I'll probably finish. It's not all. It's still in development, but you can definitely get on the list from there. Just click. I think sign up. Yeah, that's for Biz Chicks access, because that's very early. It's a very early development, but I'm excited about it. You guys can check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Let's co-create this together. Let me know what are your thoughts on it? What questions do you have? Because I'm actually creating it now as we speak. So it's exciting.
So she creates.
She created. I'll write it. Can I put it in here?
Yeah, put it in the private chat, and then we'll
space.com.
Okay, and then we'll put it over there. And then you can go over there and check that out. And yeah.
Now, I kind of want to say too, it's a conversation. I love having this type of conversation, like to hear what you, Francine, you, Terry, do to get your work, your most important purpose-filled work out into the world, and any kind of tips and tricks. And I just love having space to have the conversation, because I think when we have conversations, us as ladies, we do better when we join together and we inspire each other. So I'd love to hear how you guys get your work done.
Well, I agree with you, Rika. We are oral processors, and we get a lot out of our conversations. I know that this morning Francine was talking about the calendar, and I recognized that I have a lot of stuff still on the calendar that are now habits that I really don't need to be popping up as reminders to me. I know to meditate and to hydrate and to exercise. Those are now so ingrained in my routine, but yet I never turned the reminder off or took it out of my calendar. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So now it's become a distraction, and now I have, what would you say? I become numb to the verbal cues to check my calendar. So,
I need the notifications.
So good. Yeah.
And I need to revisit that and take that stuff out that's cluttering up my verbal cue, my audio cues to pay attention to something.
That's so good, because we can get numb, right, to things that are in place to help us, because it's like, I know that. So if it's still the same constant, you just kind of mute that same tone out of your mind. You don't hear it. So then it becomes less effective. That's good that you so much self-awareness in that you can notice that these are not effective anymore, because I'm already doing this, and my brain's like, I know what to do. So your calendar's not being.
It's like a fire drill going off every 5 minutes. I'm not doing that, y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It loses effectiveness.
I really should be living in the building, but I'm so numb to it that.
Yeah.
Right. It's like the little boy who cried wolf. Everybody was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it's important. It's important, but we're not.
Exactly. We need to revisit and reprioritize from time to time.
Right.
Yeah. I separate my calendar events from I call them daily do's, which is my habits. Right. So I already have my habits, my daily do's on something totally separate. That's right. Workout is my routine. And those times are part of my bucket, but things I definitely want to do every single day, I have those separate from my events. And my events on my calendar are like, they fit within those time slots. Like I have a meeting with a coworker, right, at 1 o'clock, or things that so I'm definitely every morning at 10 when I'm easing into. Every morning, around 10ish, I check my calendar, I check my email to make sure there's no fires happening that I need to put out. But usually I just kind of check it, and usually everything's in order. But it helps me to know, like, oh, I have a meeting with this person, very important, that too. You know, it helps me to have a idea what my day looks like. And so I don't use my calendar for my daily dues, really, because those happen every single day, and it does get a little cluttery.
I like that. What? Separating out
I do too.
Your daily dues, the routine from the events that need to happen
on that day,
scheduled for that day. Because the daily dues, you're over here, okay, because I think having those, okay, did I work out? Did I hydrate? Did I
brush my teeth, whatever. Those mundane things.
Prayer, meditation, did we get that? Those are the daily dues, like your power jams and that type of stuff. But then over here on the calendar, that stuff is, I like the buckets, and inside the buckets, we do this. But that calendar, the events now are not going to get numbed out.
Right.
Because they've been sorted out. And okay, 10 o'clock, I like the idea of 10 o'clock. Let me check and see what's going on. And I also like the idea of you don't have to be on social media 24/7.
Okay.
You can give that a time where you can check to see what everybody's doing. I like it. I like that a lot.
Yeah. I think social media is a two-edged sword, because it's a blessing and it could be a curse if you let it be. Because people can get on there and let it. I mean, I think me and social media have had our relationship. But we had an agreement, me and social media. So I know how I work on social media. I'm not there like 24/7 or a lot or scrolling. I'm there like, okay, put my timer on. Let's get it. What's up? How you doing? Oh, I need to talk to you. And I have a list of people I need to connect with. So I just go in, search their names, like, hi, what's going on? Message them. Because some people only connect via social media, like some people that you want to connect with. So I try to get in, get out, but I also try to try to have open eyes, open ears, but just put a time cap on there, because it can suck you in. And then you'll be like 3 hours later, like, oh, snap, I'm over time, So
yeah. So to recap on the buckets, now everybody who are just tuning in, I highly recommend that you replay this at the top of the hour. Go back and replay this, because it will be well worth the time to do so. There was some strategies and some ideas that can help us get to our goal, to help us finish and have fun doing it.
I think it's about being intentional, maybe, just being intentional with your time, because everybody will lose your time if you're not intentional. And you're like, this keeps you'll go year after year and be like, I wanted to do that. I wanted to write my book. I wanted to start my line. I wanted to start my business. I wanted to finish that project. But it takes a little bit of intentionality to say, like, protect some time. I call it creating circles. Draw some circles. This time is for this, it's sacred. And this is when I do this. This is the when and the where, and it's sacred and it's protected. And I communicate it, so that way it's not in odds with anything that, like, in relationships like that going on. And like, everybody knows this is my time to write. Everybody knows this is my time to do my stuff, my projects. So it's a blessing to be able to live with intentionality and create those buckets. And the thing is, it's create buckets, but I think it's not. You can have flexibility. It's for your own. The buckets are for you. You are not for the buckets. Not like attached, like, so if I need to just be conscious, like, be conscientious of what you're doing. So that way, like, what, today I'm going to clear my, like, on Wednesday, for instance, I call it my blackout day. So I don't have nothing going on. Wednesday is like, it's all black on the calendar. I don't do no OPP, no nothing other than my writing room, my morning stuff. I do that. That stays the same no matter what. Money, like 24/7. But as far as my schedule goes, I call it Wednesday my blackout day, because all my schoolwork is due on Wednesday, and so it's anytime I need to catch up. I don't take no calls. If you text me on Wednesday, I'm not texting back until Thursday So everybody knows Wednesday is blackout. My coworkers know, everybody knows, because it's time for me to get my schoolwork in. So certain things like that you can make an exception for.
I love that, having a blackout day in the middle of the week, because if you got something that you didn't finish or something that you want to get ahead on or just want to chill out, you made a space for that.
Yeah. I think too that my school work, it informed that, because it's due on Wednesday at 9 p.m. So anything I didn't get done on my regular homework blocks is like, okay, I need to study for that. It just helps me to have a focused time, so I'm getting good grades. You know what I'm saying? So it's for me, it's personal. But you guys can do that for anything you want. You can say like, you know what? I'm gonna take this Thursday morning. It's gonna be blackout, and it's gonna be me and my sewing machine, or whatever you need to get done.
You know what I mean? Just whatever relaxes me, or whatever I want to pay attention to. I put some extra space in there just for that. I love it.
She created space. Yes. And I think this has been a really good conversation for us. And I know we normally watch the Right Now media and on Finish, but I think this is a good break into that, because this is going to help us to, when we get, now we can figure out how we're going to finish.
And when we can set a date, because we've got control of our calendar again.
Right. Actually got control of all of it. Pastor Debbie says, I'm going to go back and look at some of these comments. Pastor Debbie says, blackout day is a great idea. Personal time for me. Love it. And I like that. I like having that personal time at the beginning too, where nobody gets in.
Yep.
And Jerry said, good morning. We got, hey, Gary, how you doing? Gary said hello, and Jerry says good morning.
Lorraine is in here.
Yeah, and Pastor Debbie says she loves us. We love you too, Pastor Debbie. And Rue is in here, Rue and Lorraine says this is good information. Thank you for sharing. So whenever we do something with BizChix, we always want to give you one idea to work on, so that we are not overwhelming you with 2 or 3 conversations and, oh my God, what do I pick?
Something else to do. Oh.
Right. So today, we'll come back next week with the Right Now media video and do the next one in the lineup. But today, we want to encourage you to look at your calendar. What's VIP on your calendar? What is a very important project? What's a very important person? What is VIP on your calendar? You're the bouncer, like Terry said. You're the bouncer. You get to choose who comes to this party or who's not on the list. Having the buckets. I'm going to go, and when I stop, I'm going to redo my morning routine. I like the idea of this is my time. I can read a book. I can do whatever I want with that time. Sometimes we need to give ourselves permission to do something for ourselves.
To go to the front of your own line? Yes. And when you're up there, you get to do what you want.
Right. And a lot of times we don't do it. Okay, you go ahead. Okay, no, you go ahead. And you keep putting things, and then you get bitter because your stuff is not done. But when you can put you at the front of the line, get all your stuff done, now you feel okay about helping other people.
You really do.
And I like how Rika put it, OPP, other people's projects come later.
I like that, because my energy, I'm a morning person too. So if I can get my stuff to the front and know that it's done, it would relax me for the rest of the day.
Right. And because you're not all stressed out because your stuff is still not done, but it did get done. And then you're okay for helping other people. And Rika, Pastor Debbie says, hey, my hat is usually for bad hair days, but
no.
I love my hats. I'm a hat girl.
The hat person.
I have all kinds of hats. My writing hat, my this hat. I have like probably like 12, 15 hats. I love it. I was going to say too, one of the chapters is called Sometimes Helping is Hiding. And because I feel like true generosity comes from a place, because it's kind of like, I'll do like a religious example. Like somebody's like preaching to you, need to get saved, but they ain't saved themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to give what you don't have. So it's always good to, like you guys say, get in your front of your own line. Like, like lead through example. One of my good friends, I think you guys had a event with him, Byron Davis. He says, when you're parenting, a lot of things that when you're trying to teach is saying that the big change and the change you want to make in your kids is often caught and not taught. So when you model what you want to, the change you want to see in the world, that's more effective than like trying to help everybody else like do this and you're not walking it in front of them, right? So it's always good to say, like for me, I'm a business coach, I'm a marketer, all that good stuff, a brand strategist. And one thing of like all my clients that have good results and I'm giving all my goods to them and they're doing really well, but not taking on the same changes for my own self. So that is like putting my clients first, which is, I love my clients. I love to see them do well, but when you don't do the work for yourself, your own business, it's, there's something wrong with that picture. So it's always good to say, I'm taking time for myself. I'm do this, and then I overflow. Generosity comes, right? So it's you gotta be careful of hiding via calling it help, right? So that's one of the points.
Well,
I like it.
Is your help you helping? Are you really hiding out? Or
I can give you a story example. Like one of you guys know that. Well, we have Small Gorilla, and one of our products. I was like, and we have a mentorship. Our first mentorship, I was like, you got to do this box. Like, if you do a box, it'd be so awesome. You can put this dating thing inside of it, because there are like a couple who teaches like dating. I'm like, you can have dating tips every month. It could be a subscription box. And I was just so passionate. I'm like, this is so, I will buy it. I think it'll go so well. You're like, okay, that sounds good. But what it really was happening is it's something that I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't until I was like, well, you know what? I think it's a passion that I'm putting on other people, but I'm hiding because I want to see, I had this idea and I wanted to see it flourish, but I'm putting it on them versus taking up the responsibility for us to do our box. Do you know what I'm saying? So I had to sit and hear like, oh, you know what? I'm very passionate about this. I'm just going to do my box, right? And not try to live vicariously through others. Like whatever you want to teach, you want to take on that same medicine first.
I say you can't lead where you don't go, and you can't teach what you don't know. Deborah says, live by being a good example.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. That's good. This is good. And I like the tone, the freedom that I feel from hearing how to do it. And again, it's a different approach, because we've all, the 4 quadrants, the urgent and the urgent and the important. And we got all of those 4 quadrants and stuff. But this is a different approach, the inside out approach, putting you first, getting you into when you've gone to the front of your own line and you put yourself first, and then you're free to work on someone else's stuff. There's peace.
Yeah.
Whole lot more peace.
Yeah.
Than
I think
than running around fixing everybody else's stuff, and then you're okay. Like the hairdresser, her hair is just raggedy and standing on her head, but she's working on everybody else.
Right.
There's a problem.
It's like I have a picture, as a poem, but it's a picture of the book with the poem, and the woman, she's watering everybody else's garden, plowing. You need help? You need some seeds? And she is like going to everybody else's garden, and her garden is dry and in drought and untamed. And so when it's time to exchange fruit, she comes to the farmer's market with nothing to give. But she helped. Everybody's like, thank you so much. You got my watermelon looking good. And she's empty-handed with nothing to trade because she's working on everybody else's garden, helping, which is a blessing. I do feel like we should tend to our own garden, and also, you need some help? I got some extra water. Let me give you some water. Let me help plow. You ain't done yet. Let me help plow your land too. But it definitely can't be at the expense of your own garden, because when it's all said and done, you're accountable for what we're given. That the small plot of land, big plot of land, whatever it is, you can't be like, well, I was helping theirs. You got to be like, you have fruit to give as well. So I think it's very important for us to tend to our own gardens as well as lend a hand. But you can't lend a hand at the demise of tending to your own garden.
That's good.
Yeah. And what I was going to say too, a lot of practically being getting in front of your own line, taking space for yourself is really, it's not about nothing hard. It's really about, sometimes it's as simple as taking a walk or being still and like digging into what's inside your heart. Because some people are so busy running around fast and doing and volunteering and being all these places. Being still is really an art that helps to uncover the desires that God put inside you, and being still and listening and asking yourself questions. Sometimes that quietness, being in nature, relaxing, being by yourself, which is like a weird thing. Well, now we have the time, but we still, even though we have in COVID, I still talk to people and they're still busy in COVID. I'm like, this is like a hidden blessing where we can be more still, have reflections, and ask yourself questions to see like what has God put inside me? Because I think we all have come here with hidden treasures that need to come out and that are inside of us. That's specific to us. We're unique gifts that God shines through. And so to be still, to ask questions, and to reveal what is hidden in us is important. And that comes from being still. That comes from asking questions. That comes from reflection, journaling, things like that, taking walks. So if you can do that, that is part of creating space to get that which is most important to you out into the world, because reveals what you're passionate about, reveals your values, reveals what's longing in your heart.
This is good. What is the one tip that you would leave with our audience about how to begin the process? I think you might already have hit on it, but how do they begin to go to the front of their own lawn, begin to create their own space?
That's a good question. I think it just starts with carving out time, right? So for me, it's morning time. This is I call it power jam, where I can just sit quiet, pray, that's what I do. But you just got to see what you do and carve a little time for you to be still and actually like, what's important to me? Who am I? What am I here for? What do I have in me to bring? Just ask questions like that. Even if you don't know the answer, just sit with those questions and begin to ponder, dream, imagine what that could look like. And then sometimes in the book, I have like assessments where you look like, what did I used to love to do? What was fun for me back in the day? What did I do like to spend my time when I had nothing to do, right? Because sometimes those, you can look back and get clues into what's your unique things you have to offer for people who don't. For me, it's like burning. Like I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And so for me, it was just about taking time. But for others, it might take that being still and asking, what is important to me? What is fun for me? What passions do I have? So I think the first step is taking time to sit with yourself, be with the God inside you.
Wow. So that is what we're going to encourage you all to do today. Carve out some time for yourself and find a place, like Terry always says, get somewhere and sit down and find out what's important to you. And then I'm going to work on my buckets, my circles. What are my circles? And what am I going to be doing in those circles? And I'm also going to pick a blackout day. So what will you do with what you learned today? You can put a note in the chat while we have these last few minutes here. What will you do with what you learned today? What one thing is your takeaway for today? So if you want to put that over in the chat, we appreciate it. I know there's a little bit of a delay from Facebook, so let's talk about it.
I'm going to clean up my calendar.
Thanks.
With all those unnecessary alerts.
Mm-hmm. Right. I think this is a great subject, and I'm looking forward to the book. Again, the link to get information or to get on the list for the book is over in the chat. SheCreatedSpace.com. We want to hear your success stories. We want to hear how this conversation today worked for you. Because I think this was a pivotal conversation. We talked about September being the new January. We can start right now. Just our 2021 year, we implement even one thing that we've learned today, it'll propel us into 2021 in a better position, and we're ready for whatever that might look like. If we are here in month 9 of 2020 with all this weirdness, 2021, we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Because we have our circles, because we know our value, we know what's important to us. We've gone to the front of our own line. We're helping other people plant their garden, and we're doing all this and moving forward. So Rika, thank you for jumping in here today, giving us a piece of your circle. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're always a blessing.
It's a fun conversation to have.
It is. Guys,
all right. If you're interested in becoming a part of BizChix and learning more things like this, you can always text Biz. Let me see, Terry, you gonna put it up or you want me? Oh, she did it. To join BizChix, text Biz to 33777 and get on the list. And Pastor Debbie says, I'm going to start the blackout day. I have quiet time, but a day to black out is great. You perform so much better when you have that peace. Thank you. Great. Lorraine said, thank you all. And we thank you because you all can spend your time somewhere else, but you're here with us. So we appreciate you tuning in, and we will be back tomorrow. TJ will be talking about digital marketing and social media. Last week, she talked all about hashtags and how to use them. So you might want to watch that if you missed it. Wednesday, Coach Karen comes to us and she'll be talking about get profits to come into your business daily. Thursday is Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. Friday, we talk tech in English. And then back here again on Monday with another great conversation. We'll be jumping back in with John Acuff's video on Finish. This was a great conversation. Rika, thank you again for taking time. Thank you all for taking time to come and sit with us. I had water. I didn't have coffee, but okay. Coffee, tea, conversations, whatever it is that you drink. We will see you all next time. And Terry?
Don't forget to go to the front of your own line. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.